This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lag. Whole squad all dressing all black. Every single last one of them got my back. Hey, 20 of us, that's 20 goons in the ice cream whip, triple scoop. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose when it's all on the line.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers. With that, let's get up to Green Bay, Wisconsin. Standing by for the call from venerable Lambeau Field, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thanks, Coach. Well, both teams were hoping the rain would vacate the Green Bay area by kick, but alas, it's still falling pretty steadily in and around Lambeau Field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Packer team as we enter play here. The losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, they've been as hot as anyone. The win last week makes it 9 out of 10.
The results are hard to argue. If there's a team better suited for the postseason right now, I don't know who they are.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by the former Cal Bear, Aaron Rodgers.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. He's got a man complete. Touchdown, Packers. Tajay Sharp hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, one word for that opening play call, and that is aggressive, but it worked. First play from scrimmage, long touchdown pass.
Well, let's be honest about it. In our production meeting last night, we talked about when would the secondary get tested. I did not say they'd get tested on play number 1. I knew as the game went along, they would take their shots. But that, as you said, a bold strike and very successful right out of the gate.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. That is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So here now the Bears offense for their first drive of the game. As we get a peek at the former number 2 overall pick, Mitchell Trubisky.
But when I reviewed last week's game and saw the 4 touchdown passes that he threw, I thought about you during the Turkey Bowl last year.
Yeah,
you guys
right.
had the same stats, except he got the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award with his.
He got touchdowns. I got picks. I like going back watching the film with you, and we thought it was a good performance in person. Obviously was, but you thought even better on tape. It was really something to watch.
Yeah, what I loved was how he spread it around. A lot of people involved in the passing offense. 4 touchdown passes culminated it.
Kevin King coming up from the secondary to make the play. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Come on now. Jump. Alert.
Now it's Trubisky. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 14 yards into Chicago, first down. First down, a run with Cohen. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory.
Good job, team.
The rushing numbers last week for Cohen. 14 carries, 80 yards, and a touchdown.
And they love what they've got in him. He's the number 4 rusher in the league right now, so you know that you have to account for him on defense, which means you can play complementary football as well. Throw the play action, get it out to the wide receivers, because they should have some open space because the defense will key on them.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 28. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end or left. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Preston Smith able to record his 5th sack of the season. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Now Trubisky. Hits his target. It's Taylor Gabriel. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. And Robinson with a big catch. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. 1st and goal, and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back.
Watch the slant.
Trubisky will throw toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. Well, they've been very good this year against the pass, currently holding on to a top 10 ranking at number 10. Yeah,
defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Throwing once more, it's Trubisky. And he's got his man. That's Robinson. Touchdown, Bears. Allen Robinson, his 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Extra point up and through, and we are tied at 7. So that drive, 80 yards, 9 plays. And the end result is a Bears touchdown. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This fielded at the 2. Now a hit and a loose football. And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. Riley Ridley, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bears have taken the lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, we'll see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
From the 36, Rodgers. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. The numbers for Adams in last week's game. 4 catches, 68 yards. They'll run it with Williams. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
Now a throw here to his running back. It's a gain of 9 yards. And just like that, it's third down. Back for the second quarter in Green Bay. It's the Packers in possession of the football. These two teams all tied after one. Now Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Now, I guess, partner, you call that a coverage sack.
Oh, without a doubt, because where did he have to go with the football? I know everybody wants to get on him about, hey, get rid of the football. You had too much time in the pocket. But he's scanning the field, nowhere to go, and that allowed the pressure to ultimately get to him.
On fourth down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. The Bears offense making their way out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the NFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that number 1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, his team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that number 1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through. I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
First down for the Bears, a gain of 15.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Steps away to his left. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
They'll run on first down. Cohen. And he's taken down inside the 30. First down for the Bears, a gain of 15.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. A first down carry for Davis. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Good, strong run against the 3-4 set. And that 3-4, you got to have your guys up front eat up a lot of blocks. The guy playing over the center, the nose, he usually has to take on double teams. But when you're able to successfully move him, you're often able to get some yardage, and that's when linebackers have to clean up and make tackles. Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. And he's got his man. That's Robinson. Touchdown Bears. Allen Robinson with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the 3rd most in a single year, as his guys are able to regain the lead. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
The point after is good, and that makes the score 14-7. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. This will be fielded at the 6. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They trail a 1-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. Now here's a throw that's taken in by Tajay Sharp. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. We've hit the 2-minute mark in the second quarter, 14-7. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. To throw, it's Rodgers. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Rodgers now on first down. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Throwing now is Rodgers. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete.
They kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
We get a look at the Packers defense as they work their way into position. And despite being down on the scoreboard, this unit, they've had some big-time hits.
Sort of like us at practice the other day. I saw you take a running start at that blocking sled. You took it down.
Bounced off like a rubber band.
No, not at all, but you're exactly right. They are doing their job, but they want to add takeaways to it. You need to have more of those to go along with the big hits we're seeing.
By the way, when I tried that and I bounced back, I noticed that you laughed with everyone else. You didn't try to get in my corner.
No. Someone had just told me a joke on the other side. I missed that. Totally missed it.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Looking to throw on second down. Trubisky. This is caught by Robinson. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Trubisky to throw. Going to let one fly for Robinson. Incomplete. And we're down to 8 seconds now. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now Trubisky to throw. Robinson's got it. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march up another 15 against your squad.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Here's Trubisky. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll begin up at U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. And they're drawing close to halftime with the Vikings out on top. Kirk Cousins has thrown a touchdown pass. From there, we'll head down to the Big Easy. Check on the Saints at home at the Superdome. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Raiders. Michael Thomas leading the way with 3 touchdown catches. Lastly, we head to the Gulf Coast and check on the Bucs at home in Tampa. And they were winners in that game over the visiting Detroit Lions. Jameis Winston leading the way there as the win gets his guys back to 500 on the year. In our game, it's been Mitchell Trubisky who's looked sharp thus far. His guys have the lead as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get this just up past the 20, but a marker is down. Let's get the call. Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. With that field position after the return wasn't terrific. It's not a great starting field position as well.
Trubisky gives to Cohen. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop. On 2nd and 9, Trubisky, he finds Robinson. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Good yardage after the catch as that play good for 30 and a first.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
On 1st down. It's Cohen, and the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustment, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
On second down, Trubisky. It's complete to Robinson. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 44-yard line. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
Well, now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. After the penalty, it's Davis. Vanderbilt's own Oren Burks had the tackle defensively.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Forced out to his left. And now he's going to use his legs. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 13-yard line.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
From the red zone now, here's Trubisky on first down. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Mitchell Trubisky as the Bears push further out in front. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Extra point safely through, and it's now 21-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Here we go.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver. But it'll be second down. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Rodgers gives this to Jamal Williams. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Again, it's Williams. And he's got to be frustrated. Bottled up for the 3rd straight play. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. He'll field this at the 5. Spinning away. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. They try again with Cohen. And an alley to run. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now it's Trubisky. And his throw is incomplete. Trey Burton, the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd and short. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Trubisky now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Out of the gun, running with Cohen. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow him down.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Kenny Clark able to record his 5th sack of the season.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for a loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
After that sack we just saw, Trubisky and the Bears deal with a 3rd and long. Throwing here, Trubisky. He's going to rifle one deep left side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Now come the Packers for their next drive as we take a look at the playoff race in the NFC coming into the weekend. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. The Packers on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Rodgers. He's got his man Sharp complete. And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. It's caught here by Adams. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Packer first down. And he has now hit number 500. Charles, that is his 500th NFL career catch.
Definitely worthy of applause, but I remember when 500 meant you were going to the Hall of Fame. Nowadays, in today's football, 500 puts you on the path, a significant number.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Throwing again on 2nd down. Rodgers has got it to Williams. And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's see, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. From midfield, here's Rodgers. He'll get this off to Jamal Williams. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. Throwing is Rodgers.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Rodgers to throw once more. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
All right, Captain, it's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you kind of run out of your running plays, fire another one into the end zone.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while, but when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Eddie Jackson picks it. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Let's go.
After the interception, here's Trubisky. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. Trubisky now 12 of 17 through the air as he leads his guys up on first down. Oh, Trubisky going to throw. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but 2nd, 3rd, and 4th quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time, and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that, and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the first quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So for the Bears, they continue to make their case as a Super Bowl favorite as they move to 13-1. And they'll have another road date next week with the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for the Packers, their playoff hopes take a hit as they
Y'all already know what time it is. Playing skills, you did. Playing skills. Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist. All on the wrist, watch how I flip. Watch how I whip, I'm in the whip, all in the wrist, I never switch, ice in the wrist, car on the wrist, all in the wrist, watch how I flip. Watch how I whip, I'm in the whip, all in the wrist, I never switch, ice in the wrist, I get the money but I never switch. They saying you switch 'cause you won't get it. You know they came from the bottom and now we is lit. You was lit, I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hating 'cause I on the wrist. Why bet you wanna be famous, They elevated us, You know I'm icy in Vegas, This for the that hate us, I make a lot of new money, When it's not savers, You be liking my flavor, I think it's cause ice on the wrist, on the wrist, on the wrist. Watch out, I never switch, I never switch, I never switch, I never switch. Ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist.
I was legit ever since I blew they all on my. Hey, back then didn't know I exist. Don't touch my cup, you know how I sip. Hey, got your long. I made her when I showed out my whip. Hey, spent about 10 on my fit.